Hello and welcome to this guide. I'm Corp.Shephard and I'm making this guide for the new rifle company, well not really new, but currently free on the free commander rotation rifle company. Been sort of developing a build with this commander lately. Thought it would be interesting to share it with the community. So let's just jump into this game. This is a 2v2 with a random teammate. I'm going to try and focus on my general tactics as well as my decision making, and just go over the build while we're going through all that. So the basic build here, it's kind of your standard rifleman, and then we're going to use the elite rifleman upgrade or special ability that you get with the commander. From there, we're going to go and activate the lieutenant, get a lieutenant, and then we're going to go into a quick M20 utility car, and finally we're going to go into the captain, and that's going to give us a wide array of options, like a 50 cal machine gun, a lot of just manpower only options, and let us really save up that fuel so that we can utilize the Easy 8 to its fullest potential. And I think the Easy 8 is an exceptionally good unit. So, let's see. The reason we're choosing the utility car as our only vehicle is because it's cheap and it's quite good. It's a good way to burn some munitions off. So, I like to utilize, this is a match against double Over Commander West, so I like to utilize a buddy system when I'm fighting against Over Commander West. So these two units, they pair up and they move out so they can overwhelm a unit. And you can see this Volks. I actually wanted to take this building. It's kind of unfortunate that he beat me to it, but that's what I get for stopping the cap point, I guess. So at this point, I notice I have two colors. If you don't have team colors on or you're playing team games, you should put it on. It's in the options. Two colors bearing down on me. So I immediately pull back and try and assess the situation. Is this just one unit? And I see this Kubel arrive. And as soon as you see a Kubel, you need to react very quickly, get to green cover, get to buildings. So what I figure is I'm getting double teamed. The guy's got a Kubel. I need to get into buildings. I need to stall. I need to give my ally time to help me out and get the map. I need to slow the enemy down. And the best way to do that against the Kubel Boggins and Volks is just jump into buildings and kill shit. So that's the general idea here. Thankfully, Miho here, my ally, decides to be a big damn hero with this Jeep, and the WC-51 is ridiculously good against Kubel Boggins, particularly if the squad, all this squad is focusing on this squad. It's not actually helping. But I got my squads helping out. We knock out this Kubel pretty quick. That's kind of how you want to deal with Kubels. You really should have microed that better, but you want to just overwhelm it from different angles. So I'm getting flanked by the Stern Pioneer squad. So the best choice that I have is to rally all of my forces and just focus it down as quickly as possible. Stern Pioneers, they're kind of scary, but they're quite fragile. If you just like rally your forces and focus them down quickly, I mean, he has to break off almost immediately. He does some good damage to me, but not really good enough. Then I'm going to go for this building, so I can get, if you can put riflemen in buildings in a fight, it's really good. But I'm not able to do so. He gets it first. So one of the things you can do to sort of exploit buildings is use green cover around them. This is point-blank range where riflemen are quite strong. It's really letting me dump DPS with this, and you know, he's not really getting a lot of good shots since it's green cover. So I'm able to force that squad out. And then I'm going to try and pull a similar tactic against this building. I'm suffering from a lot of attrition here, but I'm going to try and stick with it, use the green cover. Riflemen are still quite good at this range, this long range. Buy my ally a little time. Not exactly sure what pushed him out there, but you know, you've got to focus on basically what you can focus on. So, able to force that squad out too. And basically, I see that he has this truck here, so there's really no point in trying to fight him around the truck. I'm too weak. I'll just take a bunch of casualties. So I'm going to fall back. I'm going to get some recuperate my squads. But I want to leave one squad behind to take advantage of the victories that I've gotten. He's distracted by my ally. I really need to take advantage of the fact that I just shoved off essentially an entire army with my riflemen. So one rifleman, my elite rifleman, the veteran rifleman, will stay behind and defend. As per the build, you can see that I got my lieutenant out about as fast as I possibly could. You almost always want to try and get this timing. It's really nice. The lieutenant's only 200 manpower, super easy to pump out. And then I want to get my utility car up. And that's going to just give me a nice early game push force, right? The utility car, it diversifies, it forces the enemy to pick up AT early. It can lay mines. We'll do all that stuff later. But yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out, I'm sort of essentially buddying off my units using this buddy system that I like so much. Lieutenant plus rear echelons will take this flank, and then my two riflemen will take another flank, and that'll give me options, right? You always want options as Americans. You want to keep your forces a little spread out, but you need them to be together in some ways so that they can help each other out. Because, you know, if you've got an MG and you have nothing to flank with, or not enough firepower to hold your own, then you're going to get screwed. So, this is a really dangerous place to go into with two-strong pioneers. It's pretty bold to take a Jeep in there. I try and bail out my allies' Jeep with my lieutenant squad, but, you know, Jeep doesn't last long against Panzerschrecks. But now I have this option. I can just bring my riflemen in to flank these squads, get them out of cover, and push them off. So that's one of the big advantages to keeping your squads a little spread out. This is a mistake. I lost track of my rear echelon through the excitement. They die there, but rear echelon squad, it's not really that important for the strategy, so you kind of wouldn't get it killed on purpose, but I've used it to just recruit lost weapons, destroying the squad in the process. You just need to sort of expend them in the most valuable way you can find. So you can see I'm laying this mine down, taking advantage of the space that I just bought, hoping that something will try and come through here and get screwed, like an early Puma or something. Generally, if you can plant a nice aggressive mine with the utility car and not get detected, it's a great choice. I know he's got a Panzerschreck over here, so I'm going to bait the shot out with my riflemen and then move him with the utility car. And with the combined DPS, my hope here is to kill the bolts before they can actually fire another shot on me. Unfortunately, there's an LAIG firing on me and this fucking rogue squad, but yeah, this thing is, that stupid LAIG is so accurate. It was a huge shame to lose that thing so early. I think the decision making was fine there. We actually kill the Volks and grab a Panzerschreck. My ally gobbles that up. This actually puts me in a kind of a rough spot. My army's lower than ever, really. But I'm getting my captain out. I'm going to be floating a lot of manpower, so I'm going to be able to diversify my army pretty quickly. Troy's Point, or however you say that. Okay, hold on. So, this is a kind of... When you see an enemy engaging you in a fight that just doesn't make any sense, you should immediately be suspicious, right? This guy, he's basically trying to fight me 2v1. He's bad against me. He's an anti-tank upgrade, so he's trying to go for grenades. And that gives me the immediate hint that I need to just basically charge him down. I didn't see the second grenade coming, I will admit. I think it might have been... it probably wasn't actually microing anything else. I'm not exactly sure. But... you just need to be careful. There will be times when people do irrational things, or what appears to be something irrational first, or might not be paying attention, but, you know, you just mind games. You gotta try and read your opponent. In that case, like, I saw that he was probably controlling that squad, and it was gonna be grenades, but I just didn't read the second one. So this is a pretty good plan, is when you've only got a couple units on the field, you know, play it defensively, jump into buildings, get hit by an infantry support gun because they're stupid jerks, and just generally try and slow down the enemy advance until you can get your forces back up. So another thing that is good to get, you just have to fit this in at some point, is the ambulance. You really need an ambulance to keep your manpower bleed down. This is not a great fight here. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to accomplish here. Must have been, I might be like, I don't know, actually. So my ally's actually giving me ambulance bonuses, which is really nice of him. This is a great attention to detail. He saw that I didn't have an ambulance and tried to help me out. So once again, I'm going to try and use the buddy system. So like I'm just going to wait until I get my buddy here for my lieutenant, which I suppose is going to be my captain. officers, hashtag officers stand together or something. But this actually proved to be a great tactic because the lieutenant is a ridiculously good ambush unit. Right there, I knew that his only option to really damage me was a grenade, so I just charged him. It's always a good idea if the enemy is trying to pull a weird tactic, just charge them generally. It's the tactic that I'm trying to use the Thompson on this squad, which should rip them to pieces, but the first casualty is the Thompson, which is a real shame. And then, 50 cal machine gun is ridiculously good. So, it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of suppression coming in there. I've got my other buddies here. I picked up a flamethrower because I think this building is garrisoned. Yeah. So I wanted to try and use that. I do not like the flamethrower upgrade, the M2 flamethrower upgrade. I find it explodes on my own troops a lot, wasting the resources. It often kills the squad. So, not a huge fan of this power, but everything has its own limited use. So, I thought this was a good choice for this particular circumstance. We'll see how it works out. So, just generally, it's really hard in First Point to go after particular strategic objectives. I'm trying to contest the fuel, I'm trying to contest the VPs, I'm trying to contest as many enemy forces, so my ally can just sort of run rampant over there. But there's not a lot of subtlety on this map, at least at the moment. You can see there's a lot of, like, jockeying for cover and stuff, but I got my 50 cal over here. I see a squad disappearing over here, but actually, like, there's almost no way unless you could jump this, which I didn't actually think you could jump this, because I thought this was, like, a cliff. So I was really surprised that he could flank me like this. Didn't think that was possible, but, you learn something new every day. So, this is the M3 helmet. This thing's kind of but it's interesting to see someone else use it. It does pretty well here against essentially defenseless against it, so that's kind of nice. So, on First Point, on any sort of map with a campy opponent, like pretty much whenever you see a medical HQ, you should probably get a pack howitzer with this strategy. I didn't really outline anything after the captain and the lieutenant, because it's essentially a freestyle selection, right? You need to just pick up the units, the manpower units that fit the situation. This guy is playing a lot of defenses, a spec op player. He's going to have a lot of Volks Grenadiers, they're long-range troops. This guy's playing Panzer Fusiliers and LEIG's classic strategy. So, it's really distressing to see overshot already. But the howitzer lets us break the enemy lines. It lets us apply attrition. It's not the most incredible unit, but if you support it long enough, it does a really good support. Basically, you never want to fight Oversoldat with infantry. That's a big issue for this build. Normally, I have my M20 alive a lot longer, but that unlucky LEIG shots, or maybe not really that unlucky, because the LEIG is just ridiculously good, causes me some issues here. I can't use that to force the enemy off these Oversoldat. So the real solution here is the 50 cal. That's what I find when you're doing an infantry build like this. Is 50 cal still suppresses Oversoldat just as good. It does a ridiculous amount of damage. You have to play really careful tactics with it, but it does do quite well. So I'll probably pick up another one of these. Another option is to just spam the shit out of flamethrowers. Looks like this flamethrower exploded and I've lost the ability to upgrade it. That's really lame. I think I might have gotten fixed, but it's not a great option. I don't like it, but at least as Rifle Company, you can grab a bunch of flamethrowers, and that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking the only chance for me to deal with these Oversoldaten is my MG and my flamethrowers. The armor of Oversoldaten doesn't affect flamethrowers and explosive weapons. It doesn't help them at all. So the flamethrower is kind of the great equalizer, if you will. Except until, torches your own troops. But, we're just hoping that doesn't happen. Basically, this is a little mismicrowave with this reinforce here. This upgrade will never complete. But, you can see I'm trying to keep these units for a flank, but I get busy over here, and I'm microing this. Yeah, he's counter-barraging my pack howitzer. I should have shift-queued this move order into something different, but, you know, all the mistakes, right? So, these Obersoldaten, long-range Obersoldaten, actually, I think they're more scary than the upgraded infrared ones, but basically, I do have my MG around here. Yeah, I'm sprinting my MG up. My plan here is to pin them, and then I'll just rush in with the flamethrowers and just scorch them all. The flamethrower's getting a little ahead of himself there. The MG's opening up, but there's so much green cover in this area that it's not really doing anything. But the flamethrower's doing a lot of great damage here, giving me the upper hand. But unfortunately, a second Obersoldaten squad is just a huge blob of really dangerous units is there. I'm hoping to get some flamethrower bursts off on this blob, and then I die. I don't know if this repeats, actually. I think we'll be okay. Trying to use my lieutenant, this fucking 50 cal, really failing hard. I'm not exactly sure what to think of that. But, you know, force the enemy out. I'm getting pounded by like 3 LEIGs, so I'm just going to try and huddle in the corner, deny this fuel as long as possible. Am I? Okay, maybe I'm going to push forward? No, okay. I think I was thinking about it, and then I realized that it's a terrible idea. I need to camp right now. I need to get as far away from these guns as possible, which means basically just getting in the corner and camping on the BP. I moved my ambulance up to keep my pack howitzer nice and healthy. I'm going to start trying to counter barrage. This thing's already got 4 kills. Almost that one. This should have been a really great barrage. There's 2 positions right here. Pack howitzers are really unreliable, though. It looks like it killed un-infantry. Look at that. It's basically hitting right next to it and doing nothing. But, you know, you support it long enough, this unit pays off big. I'm sure we'll see it by the end of it. So, got my lieutenant here. He's pretty exceptional anti-infantry squad, and there's not a lot to say. I outnumber this guy. I've got my MG set up. He's basically just walking into my trap. And okay, now this is where the build really comes online. You've got your easy 8s. I have been saving fuel. I've barely spent any fuel. I've spent like what? 50 plus. Basically 150 fuel the entire game, or 160 with the ambulance. And I've held my own. We've kept these guys pinned in pretty well. I don't think my allies actually, I don't know what he's at, but I haven't seen, I think he's just gotten his shown up, so now I can just start pumping out easy 8s. I can get 2 easy 8s back to back almost immediately with this strategy. That's a lot of firepower. It's a lot of medium tanks to have at this stage of the game. It's a really nice thing. So this is where the build really comes together. Unfortunately, the enemy's packed in with a bunch of defenses like sardines. I think right now I'm using a white phosphorus barrage, trying to weaken the defenses here to my allied Sherman. I saw it trying to make a flank here. And it's doing a great job of burning it down, but okay, yeah. This is, I've never seen this salvage doctrine bombardment before. It is goddamn ridiculous. Look at this shit. So that caught me off guard. I think I lost my 50. No, let's see, 50 cal's barely alive. Looks like the captain died. That's really too bad. So yeah, this thing is just sitting here. It's just doing its job. Apparently, it just killed that position. Wow. Good job, Howitzer. So yeah, I'm just trying to weaken him as much as possible. More white phosphorus barrages are coming in. No, that's just a normal barrage. That would have been a decent white phosphorus. You can just drop white phosphorus on the enemy tactical HQ. It's really brutal because they just have to sit there and heal forever. It makes their entire force combat ineffective for a really long time. So it's kind of hard to use my tanks in this scenario. So I'm just looking for fringe positions where I can pick off units with these easy 8s. Because I don't really know how much AT is in here. Scouting is a huge problem for the U.S. forces. So I'm organizing a pincer attack. The infantry forces sadly dwindled thanks to that barrage and a little bit of carelessness. But I want to sort of just pincer off his forces and kill it. Thankfully there are no Repettenwerfers in the area. Even if there were, though, I could probably get enemies to retreat back. And so I'm just sort of picking him apart and making sure this right now. This is sort of the strength of the build, is you fight pretty well and then you get the easy 8s. There are a lot of things that are significant danger to the Easy 8s. Lots of like panthers, like yag tigers. So you want to preserve your tanks. You want to be really careful with your early tanks. Use it defensively, use it cautiously, so that you can get this critical mass of Easy 8s basically attacking anything. The enemy gets out 2 panthers at the same time, and I'm just like, fuck. This would be a decent time for a smoke screen, but I'm kind of like, I don't know, being stupid, trying to fight him. I've got my heat rounds on the pack howitzer, so it actually does pretty good damage against armor now. But don't bother with the smoke. He's sort of just choked up. Look at that. That heat round does incredible damage to the Panther. Maybe this thing is pretty good. You only get the AP rounds, if you will, at that 2. It takes a while, but it almost feels like an LEA 2 thing. So I'm just looking for opportunities to exert my presence without helping any Panther. You can see that thanks to my Captain Tech, I'm building an AT gun. Probably should have had that AT gun earlier, but your manpower strapped for this build almost constantly, so you just kind of have to roll with the blows and just wait for the resources as they come in. I've almost got enough resources for my 3rd. Taking huge hits from the Racket Burfer, taking big hits from that. We launch a defensive smoke barrage, and I keep moving. You can do that on the move if you just launch it and then wait. You just need to bait this Panther into trying to follow me into a bad situation. Sadly, it doesn't work. He gets a really good shot off at one. Another one of those super barrages is coming in. It's really bad news. I want to help my ally out here with some anti-tank rifle grenades. This Sherman is fucked. But I think it flex there. This squad was supposed to rifle grenade this a long time ago. The minimum range of this is actually really harsh now, considering its maximum range would decrease. So, just trying to keep this rifleman over here, so I might be able to get another grenade out as it tries to come through. Here it goes. It's going right through it, and it hits that M20 utility car mine. That's the power of the utility car, just planting mines and then letting those traps wait. Mine died really early. I only got that 1 mine down, but you can see it paid off. That Panther Blitz would have escaped almost certainly. This Jackson probably wouldn't have been able to chase it. So really great there. I'm not sure if the other Panther escapes. Yeah, this is the other Panther. So still in a bit of an issue, in a bad spot. I don't have major tech. I can't go into Jackson's, but I have AT guns, and I have Easy 8s. The Easy 8, as you saw, it can trade blows with the Panther. It's not incredible, but it can do it. Easy 8 also has sort of shitty shells. The splash is probably lower than even the AP Sherman rounds, so keep that in mind. You want to get this 50 cal upgrade for the Easy 8. Always, so that it's better. Here I see, oh, I need to protect this Jackson. It's in a lot of trouble. So create a screen for it, give it some room to operate, and snipe this enemy tank. Sadly, there's another rifle squad, and I can't seem to move through this area very well. And I've got this sneaky ass for firing on me from pull that back there, and I'm like, ugh, it's a terrible situation. But you know, the nice thing about the thing is now 19 kill, almost at a 3 pack howitzer. It's doing an incredible job. I've got my ambulance supporting it. Is that you can kind of punish these sort of things slowly. It just keeps firing shots, and you know, I use the barrage power when I can, but the auto fire is where the real money is here. You want to try and get auto fire off with this thing as much as possible. It'll just pick things off like it's easier. So, this is where the AT gun really comes into play, and I don't think I meant to move that right then and there, but this puts him in a bad situation. He tries to fight me. I've got the AT gun. I just need to protect it. Ooh, am I gonna get this Panther? I don't remember. Yes. Okay. So basically, Easy 8, they can shove up, they can do damage to a Panther. They're quite good at that. super barrage going on. I'm trying to stop this guy from salvaging the AT gun. There's no way that he could, but he could try and steal it. He could try and destroy it. Oh my god. Vet 5 Raket Inverters are ridiculously scary. They fire so fast. It's a huge loss for me. I lost all of my tanks. We're on the back foot now. I don't even think I'll get this because it cloaks. Because Raket Inverters are ridiculous. So, but a good thing is we knocked out the enemy Panther. That's important. I realize I have no field position, so I'm essentially just going to fall back. You need to be willing to concede ground as Americans when you're on the back foot. A lot of people, I think, they get nervous. They think, oh, Americans are terrible in the late game. They can't possibly compete. I need to, like, throw everything in early. It doesn't matter if I don't have anything late game. I wouldn't win anyways. But that's just not true. Americans are wonderful in the late game. They have a lot of strong units. This strategy, you know, it's inflexible because all you get is easy 8s. But it's still really strong. I'm going to have another easy 8, my 4th easy 8 up, coming up soon, within 1 minute. I'm just trying to stall out the game, so I'm using my rifleman in a pretty greedy way. Am I going to die? Okay, he almost pretty much just lets me go there. I kind of lean on my ally here, but I can still provide really great fire support with this. My pack howitzer, and I think I was feeling that I needed to make a bit of an investment, so I went with the fuel cache because I couldn't think of any infantry units or anywhere else I could put that manpower right now that would really help. So I think I'm using this barrage on this enemy infantry support gun with direct hit that manages to only kill one thing. I just don't understand the pack howitzer sometimes, but so this is a bit of a lull in the action and what I'm doing. I'm trying to basically, I know that there's some Obersoldaten and probably some Jaeger light infantry here. So once again, buddy system in action. Lieutenant plus 50 cal pretty much can push off any infantry, I would say, in the game if they were working together in tandem. I see that, yes, these Obersoldaten are still alive and they're still a nuisance. Lieutenant doesn't really stand a chance against them, but with the power of a vet to 50 cal, which does kind of ridiculous burst damage. I feel like I could take the fight, so now vet 3 is going to do a lot of shit, Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to read that. I think I was sort of desperate. This was a bad move to try and move the pack howitzer in to decap this VP and why I felt that it was necessary. But finally, I got another easy 8 up. I can finally start fighting these Obersoldaten. You don't want to fight Obersoldaten with infantry, so it's going to give me some new options. But yeah, there's just a lot of shit that you sort of just need to conservatively fight. So I'm holding my forces back. I'm using my easy 8 to just take nice, easy shots. Not overextending it, not being reckless with it. Or once again, I want to build up a critical mass of these things. So whenever you have only a few tanks, you need to play conservatively and wait. Medium tanks, they're really pack hunters. They really need other tanks to help them out. So I'm pretty comfortable with entering this courtyard. I've got my MG up. I've got my pack howitzer in a great position in case Raket Inverters come up. So pretty much set against infantry and not that set against armor. I got this rear echelon squad partially because I thought I'd want like a fuel cache, but partially just because I needed to recrew this AT gun and it was the cheapest way to do so. I mean, this rifle squad's quite expensive to do. I see that the enemy has another Sherman here. I also see that my... Oh, okay, it's a rifle grenade. Oh, yeah, okay. It was like, why did he throw a grenade at it? He must have misclicked, but I also see that this fucking LEIG is a huge pain in the dick, so I am going to fire some more heat rounds at it. You never know with the pack howitzer if it'll ever kill anything, but all you need to do is keep it alive, and it'll do its job sooner or later. So, it'd be nice to help my friend out here against this Panther, but just not in position. I'm in a rather weak position right now. I'm sort of just trying to build strength up slowly. So when you're doing this, you don't want to overextend. He's holding the Panther at bay with his Jackson, so right now it's a lot of stalemating with the enemy, using this Vet 3 HMG, using the EV-8 Sherman to fire for max range, do damage to the enemy, keeping this AT gun reserve nice and safe, letting this thing continue to rack up kill after kill. Still getting pounded by this MG support gun. And I start to see, oh, well, okay, he's got a significant force here. He's even got this raket burster. So I'm just going to drop my Wily Pete's White Phosphorus Bombardment. Incredible bombardment against infantry. Reduces them all to 1 health. Doesn't actually kill infantry. This guy will never die from the Wily Pete. But if I had more tanks, I could have rushed my tanks in and killed them with the 50 cals on top really fast. They only have 1 health. It's really easy to kill at that rate. I'm just getting pounded by infantry support guns, though. So I have to get back. I want to get this squad reinforced. I want to get my stuff repaired. So once again, you have to learn to see ground. You just can't sit there and take the shots forever. I am still concerned about Obersoldaten. Still using a lot of squads of those to get another 50 cal. In order to keep those elite infantry at bay. It's not a Vet 3 one, but I figured, it's one of my only ways to deal with it. Oberkommando West, these players have not had a lot of fuel, so they're going to have to rely a lot on their manpower armies. Particularly, we've been testing this one the entire game. We basically have this one the entire game. So, I'm most worried about the infantry. I can get my AT gun healed and reinforced up to help out with like a random Panther or two. Which one right now? It's actually commanding. And you know, I'm starting to rebuild my Easy 8 Armada, I guess. My little fleet. My brigade. That's a ground thing. So that's good. This is going to give me more options for flanking the enemy Panthers. Speaking of the Devil, there's another Panther coming up. So I'm going to lay into it. I think I realized my AT gun's way in the back, so this is not a great fight for me. But Vito's going in, so I'm going to try and help him as much as I can without putting my tanks at risk. I pull one back and start repairs on it. The other one is still fighting, still holding a front. The AT gun, hopefully, it's on its way. It'll be a while. Yeah, we got 2 crews repairing this. We got infantry support here. So this is sort of just a sprint, right? You see these a lot in these battles where basically you're just backing up, repairing, and trying to keep your tanks alive while putting as much pressure on the enemies as possible. AT gun goes up, AT gun still kill. Beautiful, and immediately activates Stay Alert. This is ridiculously good power. Actually, I think that's the deactivated Stay Alert, but it gives me a lot of scouting power, increases the range of my AT gun to 70. Look at that bullshit. That's like basically an elephant. Actually, I think that is an elephant's range, right? Yeah, the M1 57mm is, it's not a great penetration damage machine, but Jesus Christ, it's got great, it's one of the few units you can use as a spotter because this increases, gives it cone vision, and it has just ridiculously range. So, keep your AT guns alive, keep them scouting, use them for fire support. They're wonderful. And now we have, like, I think we knocked out 2 Panthers, maybe just 1 Panther there. But our armor's kind of hit a critical mass. We have a lot of great support weapons here. I tell my ally, there's a bunch of shit coming in on us. It looks like the enemy's bombarding us. He's able to move. He's busy microing against this Panther, making a rather risky move on this Panther. I'm not sure I really agree with that, but my impact howitzer firing on this, I think I just needed to barrage it. Basically, whenever you can, push forward with your Easy 8s, and then pound that position with the pack howitzer to get a good read on the enemy. Then pull back, repair, rinse, repeat. This is a decent sort of skirmishing tactic that you can use. Still, you know, failing to kill. But, you know, 30 kills. I think anyone can say that that unit paid off, and, you know, they give up. Not that surprising. A little surprising, honestly, considering they still had 200 points on the board, but their map control was abysmal. They had lost a lot of units. Let's see if we can actually... Did that Panther die? No way. What did he kill it with? It was just one Sherman. But yeah, it looks like their support units are probably at an all-time low. This guy's got 4 units. This guy's got 3. So, yeah, that game was over. We had a really strong and versatile forces. So that's the Rifle Company strategy. I hope this video was useful. I hope you kind of understand how I moved through the game and how I was using the terrain and my general tactics and how them hopefully paid off, and hopefully you agree with some of the choices, or if you don't agree, you can at least see the logic behind them. Thanks for watching. This is my first time doing this, so give me a little feedback. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like the strategy. So, signing off, this is Corp.Shephard. See you guys on the battlefield.